Hi, my name is Ondine, and I am a social work student at the University of Kentucky, where I'm pursuing my master's degree. And in this short video, I am going to walk you through the legislative process.
Okay, I'm going to go through a very simplified explanation of how a bill becomes a law. There are some great resources out there that go more in depth than what I'm going to do, but this is all part of the series created by the Kentucky chapter of the National Association of Social Workers, just to prepare folks for doing some very basic advocacy. So let's use this graphic to walk through the process. Just 11 steps, super easy, right? First things first, the bill is introduced in the Senate or the House of Representatives. And so the bill comes from a legislator, and it may be something that they are personally interested in or they believe their constituents are interested in. It could also come directly from constituents, and so community groups, concerned folks, social workers could come together and say, you know what, we really need a law around this or that. And they could find a representative that will work with them to get this moved through our process. So the bill gets first assigned to a committee on committees, which sounds funny. It is where it is decided, this is the place where they decide which committee the bill should be permanently assigned into. So usually they assign bills into committees that make the most sense. So if it were a bill about how we need to, I don't know, reduce the speed limit, then maybe that bill would end up in the Transportation Committee. When the bill is assigned to a committee, that's the place where the first round of discussion happens. And so different representatives are assigned to different committees. So there could be folks from all over the state who are on this committee, and they decide when to talk about the bill and if they talk about it. Sometimes it's strategic on their part to never bring the bill up. If that happens, they don't get to vote on it and the bill effectively dies. However, if they do discuss it, sometimes people from the community can come and be a part of that and share their testimony. The committee will then vote whether or not to kill it and then it just is done, or to move it along. If they vote to move it along, it goes to either the House or the Senate floor, where it gets voted on by that larger body. If it passes through the House, for instance, it gets over to the Senate, and then they have to vote on it, or vice versa. If the bill came out of committee and it went straight to the Senate chamber and they passed it, then it goes to the House to be passed. Sometimes in that process, one chamber will pass a bill through, and then the other chamber gets it and they say, you know, I don't like this. This is where some of the negotiation can happen, and where bills can get changed along the way, where things get added to them or removed to try to appease everybody, so that at the end we have a piece of legislation that most folks can agree upon. Once it goes back and forth through that process, if they're going to find something that they can all agree upon, that finalized version of the bill goes to the governor to be signed into law, or the governor can veto the bill. If the governor vetoes the bill, it goes back to the chambers. Oftentimes nothing happens then, right? The session ends, maybe the next year they try again. There are some occasions, though, where if each chamber can bring forth a constitutional majority, then they can override a veto by the governor. But that doesn't happen terribly often. So this is pretty much it. This is your 11-step process.